wiki.ezvid.com. Search Ezvid Wiki before you decide. Ezvid presents the 10 best war history books. Let's get started with the list. Starting off our list at number 10. John Lewis Gaddis's The Cold War, A New History is an excellent, if abridged, accounting of the greatest war that never truly took shape, except by proxy and politics. It draws on many newly available resources and archives to tell not just what happened, but why. It's a highly readable format that covers the end of World War II to the post-Soviet era. However, it seems to skip over some key events. At number 9, The Soul of Battle by Victor Davis Hanson examines 3 great generals who led inexperienced and untrained soldiers to triumph over superior forces by way of brilliant military strategies. It also looks at how moral confidence can play a big part in victory or defeat. It's interesting and controversial, and uses engaging and fast-paced prose, but it can be repetitive at times. Coming in at number 8 on our list, James McPherson's The War That Forged a Nation takes a look at America's deadliest conflict through modern eyes. He examines why it's so deeply embedded in our national psyche and identity, and illuminates its continuing resonance some 150 years later. It's a collection of easy-to-read essays, and it covers all facets of the war. However, it does include some previously published information. Our newest choices can only be seen at wiki.ezvid.com. Go there now and search for war history books, or simply click beneath this video. At number 7, The Crusades is a comprehensive look at one of the most fascinating periods in history. It covers the events from 1095 to 1291 in chronological order, going over everything from Islam's nascency to its arrival as a world power, with equal weight given to both sides. It avoids simplifying the conflict and helps explain subsequent centuries, but the writing can get overly dense. Moving up our list to number 6. Historian John Keegan's celebrated book, A History of Warfare, moves beyond simply discussing what happened and when, to delve down into the very psychology of why we fight. It's an original and challenging perspective that'll have you reevaluating your beliefs. It includes insight from multiple cultures and is written with style and humor. However, the author tends to go off on tangents. Halfway up our list at number 5. No war history book collection would be complete without a dedicated tome on World War II, the war that helped to shape the modern world. The definitive visual history is a comprehensive and authoritative manual to the politics, events, and lasting effects of the conflict. It includes information about the rise of Hitler, a guide to battlefields, and key military strategies. At number 4, Thucydides wrote his history of the Peloponnesian War 400 years before the Common Era began, yet still it ranks as one of the all-time best accounts of conflict. It tells of the battles between Athens and Sparta that ravaged the Greek world for nearly 3 decades. This one's essential for ancient history buffs and is a very accessible translation. It's timeless due to the masterful narration. Nearing the top of our list at number 3. If you're curious about the struggle that marked the bloody birth of the United States, 1776 by David McCullough takes you behind the scenes for an intimate look at the primary actors on both sides of the war, and ultimately reminds you that all wars are personal things. It looks at common soldiers as well, and includes battle maps. It's an in-depth look at a single year of the war. Our newest choices can only be seen at wiki.ezvid.com. Go there now and search for war history books, or simply click beneath this video. At number 2, for what was once called the Great War, World War I doesn't get nearly as much attention as its successor. For the definitive look at the origins of this horrible conflict, try The Guns of August by Barbara Tuchman, which takes you deep into the first month of combat. This one was a Pulitzer Prize winner and contains lively prose that creates gripping action. It reveals the personalities behind the war. And taking the top spot on our list, The Civil War, A Visual History was produced in conjunction with the Smithsonian to ensure the highest level of accuracy. It includes comprehensive timelines and intimate first-person accounts from soldiers and civilians, as well as key political and military leaders. It examines the treatment of the wounded, and the illustrations bring the war to life. This one doesn't attempt to proselytize. Our newest choices can only be seen at wiki.ezvid.com. Go there now and search for war history books, or simply click beneath this video.